The CEO of FTX was in a space call today, and after admitting pretty much the entire thing was a Ponzi scheme, not only that, but him sitting on video games during the space call, this question was presented.
So as a follow-up here, because customer funds and deposits were indeed not backed one-to-one, can you confirm with us now whether tokenized shares of AMC, GME, and others were backed one-to-one?
To my knowledge, they were, but I want to get you a better answer to that question.
So the question was, because customers' funds and deposits were not backed one-to-one, can you confirm with us whether tokenized shares of AMC and GameStop and others were backed one-to-one? SBF comes out and says, to my knowledge they were, but I want to get you a better question to that answer. He goes on to say that he does not have an answer to that question. Who would give him the better answer? And this leads us into the next thing. Questions have been raised as to why all of the FTX group companies were included in the Chapter 11 filing, particularly FTX US. The answer is because FTX US was not operated independently of FTX.com. Chapter 11 protection was necessarily both to avoid a run on the bank at FTX US and to allow our team the time to identify and protect its assets. Well, don't forget, on May 14th of 2021, FTX US hired former Citadel Securities executive to massively scale its crypto exchange. Now, a crypto exchange who routes customers' orders to Alameda, uses customers' funds, makes risky bets with customers' fund, a CEO who doesn't even know what's going on, hiring one of the, if not biggest, market makers in the stock market, if not the most fraudulent institution in the entire markets in general, hiring them and pretty much being put in their back pocket to say whatever he has to say. I mean, this guy pretty much knows nothing at this point. So the fact that he said that he has to go look for a better answer to that question, and they hired Citadel May of 2021 is just very, very odd that you see huge drops in AMC, tokenized securities issued, and the CEO doesn't even know if they're backed one-to-one. Well, who issued those and why? You guys can see it right here. I mean, I don't have to even pinpoint it for you. You get what's going on here. Speaking of Citadel Securities, Ken Griffin of Citadel is to build a new tower in Manhattan that can house all of his Citadel and Citadel Securities employees, which is not really important. And Goldman Sachs reportedly looking to buy crypto firms after FTX collapse. Goldman Sachs was to invest millions in crypto firms as the FTX meltdown has affected crypto market prices. What a coincidence, guys. Goldman Sachs wants to buy crypto firms. Why? Because they're trapped in AMC's play. They need to further suppress the price with an unlimited supply of tokenized stock to further drop AMC's price. This is interesting because we just put out a GTI video, I'll put it up right here, and the Christian Levine law group that is investigating this came out and specifically quoted Goldman Sachs as one of the central banks that they believe to be manipulating the market, spoofing the market, etc., etc. Touching on crypto, Binance locked withdrawals for some accounts amid what CEO calls just market behavior. And US prosecutors are now looking to charge Binance executives with possible money laundering violations alongside Sam Bankman-Fried currently being investigated for market manipulation. Following that up, the US Justice Department is split over charging Binance as crypto world falters. So the US Justice Department is literally saying, okay, we're on the fence if we should arrest a criminal or not. I mean, these are criminal charges. These are really bad charges. We have proof, but we're on the fence if we should arrest Sam Bankman, if we should arrest CEO of Binance. And the reason for that is because there's high powers that were included in this. The Democratic Party, members of the Senate, all involved in this money laundering scheme. People with money, they don't go down. They don't go to jail. This is just the way it is. And this is exactly what we're trying to dig into and what we're trying to change. Also, Goldman Sachs is starting to lay off hundreds of more employees. This is just something to add on. After they are looking to buy crypto exchange, they fire a ton of employees as well. So the bars pattern I have laid out over AMC, I bet that looks pretty similar to the way the chart is trading, wouldn't you say? Take a look at how this is trading and how it correlates. This isn't the bars pattern copy and pasted, right? This is not that at all. What this is, and what essentially I'm looking at, is right before the run-up back in January, the very first run-up AMC had. And essentially, this is what I'm looking at, and this is what I'm looking for as of right now for AMC. I think this makes the most sense if we're always going to look forward as a chance. Well, where would AMC have a potential chance to run up, right? Where is that potential chance? This is the next thing that I'm eyeing up, the next thing I'm looking at, and in my opinion, a market crash has to happen, or these tokenized securities, something has to go down. Something big has to go down for AMC to have his major rip. Speaking of that, CPI data coming out tomorrow, going to be a huge day, and then following that up with rate hikes, going to be a huge week in general, which we could have one of those catalysts for. I'm not gonna, you know, call it out because I'm not a financial advisor. I don't give financial advice, but taking a look at this, if this were to play out, AMC would come back down around this $5.40 range at minimum before we actually have that rip. So that's just something I'm looking at, something I'm paying attention to for AMC. So a couple things I wanted to point out before we close out the video. The estimated short interest on AMC has been dropping, and I've been paying attention to it. Ortex is now reporting a 17.89% short interest. Whether that this is just an adjustment or a tweak, it still shouldn't be this low. And I've seen a lot of talk about people talking about DRSing their shares. I wonder if this is spooking short sellers and somehow they're getting out of their short positions, covering in some certain way. I'm just going to dig a little deeper, but I do not like seeing that this is dropping. Also, the cost to borrow is dropping as well, 23.9%, with utilization still maxed out. That will be forever maxed out in my opinion, because all of the real shares are used. All of the real shares are lent out. This whole tokenized security is just like kind of glitching out the broker, saying, yo, you can locate more shares, so we can short more shares. As for APE, in case you guys wanted to know, the short interest is almost at 6%. It's at 7.01, so just at 7%. And the cost to borrow is at 7.39. Nothing new right there. Covering some of the numbers real quick, AMC on Stock Tracker is reporting a 550,000 shares available to borrow with a 19.4 cost to borrow fee. So that's the lowest I've seen in a while. A ton of calls out of the money expiring the end of the week this week. So if something happens with CPI and the FOMC and the market and it correlates over to AMC, you could see a lot of gamma ramp happening. I'm not going to put that out there to come to fruition. I'm just saying that the option chain is loaded up right now. Touching on GameStop, again, the DRS shares dropped significantly from almost touching 60%. Weird stuff going on. I'm doing my best, guys, behind the scenes to dig into this stuff, and I know I didn't ask yet, but just hit the like button so that we can help my channel out and get me to grow so I can dig into this stuff for longer throughout my days for you guys. Also, guys, I apologize, the video is going up a little bit later today, but hopefully you enjoyed the video or taken something out of the video. Before you leave, a ton of you guys signed up, and about half of you guys deposited your dollar into MooMoo, so you are getting those benefits of up to 20 free stocks and a chance to win $60,000 before Christmas time. This is a limited time deal, and so far since I've been sponsoring MooMoo, this is the best deal I've seen them give. All you guys have to do is hit my link, download MooMoo on your phone or your computer. It takes 5 minutes like you're signing up for any other broker, and deposit at least $1 into your account to get up to 20 free stocks that you can sell for well over $1 and a chance to win $60,000. Also, with everything going bankrupt right now, your money is FDIC insured in MooMoo, so you really don't have to worry. Beyond that, if you did actually want to trade, they have a super dope customizable earnings calendar. You can take a look at other exchanges, you can take a look at crypto trade options on there, go long, go short, and pretty much it has access to everything you would want access to. Also, that level 2 order book that you look at on Webull and other platforms that charges you $2 is free on MooMoo, so you can see where whales are loading up and dropping off, and you can trade based on that if you would like to. That link will be linked in the description and pinned in the top of comments. On your way out, guys, please hit that subscribe button. I love you all. Lottery Stocks out.